Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
What's going on, Southwest Missouri? My name is Kurt Kokanar. I'm with Show Me Mo Real Estate. This is another episode of Real Talk, where we take your questions and take different aspects from the real estate market and apply it and help you get information about different things going on.
Love it.
Today, I have with me Kent Payne.
Hello.
Kent is an appraiser. His company is Foxshire Apraisals, and he is going to answer some questions for us today about the appraising process from the perspective of buyers. So, Kent, I work with several buyers, right? And we're putting in offers on houses. Obviously, you know, if the house is not being paid for in cash, which are quite a few of them, right? Less than you would think these days, but but still quite a few of them. What are the things that I need to be concerned about, or the things that I need to know about as a buyer as it pertains to the appraisal on the property that I'm trying to purchase?
Sure. Luckily, as a buyer, the appraisal side for the buyer should be relatively stress-free.
You heard that.
Yeah.
If you're buying a house, don't worry about the appraisal.
People are going to be coming after me for saying that. But luckily, the buyer side is fairly hands-off. Your bank should be taking care of most of actually all of the appraisal side of it. So you basically just get to sit back and enjoy the show. Probably the number one concern that a buyer would have would be, what happens if the house does not appraise for what we went under contract for? Unfortunately, it does happen. You know, nobody can guarantee the price. In this market, things are crazy. People are putting up houses for, it seems like, whatever number pops in their head. Right. And sometimes it just doesn't quite work out.
So, just off the top of your head, no one's going to hold you to this from a statistical standpoint. How many times would you say that happens out of 10? Out of 10 appraisals, how many times does that happen?
I would say it's probably less than 1 out of 10.
Okay.
And here's why. Typically, a buyer and a seller typically are working with real estate agents. That's one of the reasons they use them. You're dealing with an expert in the field of real estate. You have a third party who's helping guide you through it. You have experts in the field who are helping you find comparables, who are making suggestions, negotiating contract price. So typically, when we see buyers and sellers both represented by a real estate agent, it happens a lot less. It does happen. I mean, there are things that just happen. Sure. But typically, we don't see it as much when they're represented. Now, when it's for sale by owner, it's the buddy system. You know, they're selling to somebody that doesn't know much about the real estate market that we're currently in, being sold by somebody who
just know the market's hot, and I'm
they're
put
like,
a house that I think I should price.
1.5 million seems like a great price for my house. Mine too.
Sure. Me three.
So that's where we'll typically see it, is when people are and look, shoot for the moon if you want to try. Absolutely. But we're not expecting an owner of a house or a person not being represented by a real estate agent to understand the market. Sure. You know, that's why we have real estate agents.
Why we have appraisers. That's
exactly.
why we have real estate agents. You're right.
So don't fault yourself if you didn't quite hit the mark. But that's typically where we see it. So if your house does not appraise, you've got some options. The number one thing that I think I see is people will renegotiate after the freak out.
Come back.
Everybody has the freak out.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, exactly.
And then they come to the table and they're like, okay, well, the house is worth this much, and
exactly. So that's where we will see people renegotiate. The other option is, I'm not recommending it, but you can pay the difference. There's nobody saying, hey, if you have the difference in the bank and you really want that house, the bank can loan on whatever amount, up to a certain amount. Exactly. And then you could pay the difference. It's not recommended, but if you're like, hey, this is my dream home, I'm never going to move, I'm going to live here forever.
Well, something's worth, generally speaking, what someone's willing to pay for it, right?
Exactly. Again, it's not my recommendation to do that, but you can. But typically we see a renegotiation process, and that is where most people end
They
up.
kind of find some common ground and
Yes,
get through it.
exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Well, Ken, thanks for sharing. Hey, listen, if you've got questions out there that you'd like for us to answer or you'd like for us to do segments on, go ahead and post those. That'd be amazing. If you have needs in the real estate market, if you have questions about real estate, if you're looking to relocate to Southwest Missouri or relocate within Southwest Missouri, look us up at Show Me Mo Real Estate. My name is Kurt Kokenar. Appreciate you guys watching today, and I hope you have an amazing afternoon. Thank you so much.